Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brother's Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ follower's perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with Katie Smooth at One Brother's Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Katie Smooth coming back at you with a new report today. Today's report is going to be an update on the Breonna Taylor case, an update that just came out minutes ago. But just before we get started, family, please remember to smash the like, share this report on all your social media, and be sure to be subscribed to One Brother's Mind, where we bring you the facts and information you need. All right, we're going to jump right into this, family. I got a short video that I want to share with you, and we're going to, then after that, we're going to jump right in to this report. We're going to chop it up. Just a moment. There we go. Again, the FBI just announced minutes ago federal charges for the cops who conspired and deleted Breonna Taylor in March of 2022. Okay, we're going to go to this video here, and then we're going to come back and chop it up right after that. Okay, let's see here. Just a moment. All right. Here we go.
Earlier today, I spoke with the family of Breonna Taylor. This morning, they were informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Ms. Taylor's death. Those alleged crimes include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses. The 4 defendants were charged through 2 separate indictments and 1 information. I'm going to begin today by discussing the civil rights offenses that stem from the falsification of a search warrant. We allege that these offenses resulted in Ms. Taylor's death. These charges focus on the conduct of the Louisville Metro Police Department's Place-Based Investigations Unit. In the first indictment filed today, we allege that in early 2020, that unit was investigating suspected drug trafficking in the West End of Louisville. On March 12, 2020, officers from that unit sought 5 search warrants they claimed were related to the suspected drug trafficking. 4 of those warrants targeted properties in the West End where that activity was allegedly occurring. A 5th search warrant was for Breonna Taylor's home, which was approximately 10 miles away from the West End. The federal charges announced today allege that members of the Place-Based Investigations Unit falsified the affidavit used to obtain the search warrant of Ms. Taylor's home, that this act violated federal civil rights laws, and that those violations resulted in Ms. Taylor's death. Specifically, we allege that Ms. Taylor's Fourth Amendment rights were violated when defendants Joshua Janes, Kyle Meany, and Kelly Goodlatte sought a warrant to search Ms. Taylor's home knowing that the officers lacked probable cause for the search. We allege that the defendants knew the affidavit in support of that warrant contained false and misleading information and that it omitted material information. Among other things, the affidavit falsely claimed that officers had verified that the target of the alleged drug trafficking operation had received packages at Ms. Taylor's address. In fact, defendants Janes and Goodlatte knew that was not true. We further allege that defendants Janes and Meany knew the search warrant would be carried out by armed LMPD officers and that conducting that search could create a dangerous situation for anyone who happened to be in Ms. Taylor's home. As outlined in the charging documents, The officers who ultimately carried out the search at Ms. Taylor's department were not involved in the drafting of the warrant and were unaware of the false and misleading statements it contained.
Okay, family. That's just an update. There you have it. So, yeah. The feds finally brought down charges in this case. A couple of things to note here, family. The officers, Cosgrove and Hankerson, both were charged in this case. Garland, as he mentioned in the video report, and Goodlet were charged with falsifying the affidavits for the search warrant. And you got the officer Hankerson that was also charged as far as the police officer that actually went out and did the shooting in this case. So the first bit of information is first off, y'all, this occurred in March of 2020. It's been 17 months since this happened, and now they're bringing charges. One of the questions that I have is that justice, or is that fast enough justice? And we still don't have the actual case, has to play out, and that's still going to take time and things of that nature. So is 17 months justice? Having to wait that long just to get indictments? Okay. Also, family, you need to understand what the sentences are for these charges for a Fourth Amendment rights violation. The sentences is up to life in prison or the death penalty. Also, for the conspiracy charges, the federal penalty could be 10 years up to life in prison. For giving false statements, the federal sentence is up to 30 years. Falsifying records, sentence could be up to 20 years. And in addition to those potential sentences, family, that later the FBI went on to announce that there's still an ongoing civil investigation into the LMPD, the Louisville Police Department, for, misconduct, civil rights and violations, and targeting or over targeting of black citizens, things of that nature. So they're still looking into the actual the police department. So there may be more to come in some time. But again, family, is having to wait 17 months, is that justice? Just to get charges? That's my question. And another question that I have is, when these things happen, when this happened here with Sister Breonna Taylor, and I'm sure this brings some relief to her family and loved ones, but it's not over yet. why, I mean, when these things happen, why aren't the police or whoever it is that has done the crimes or suspected of doing the crimes, let's say that, why aren't they arrested pretty much immediately or within days by the feds? Because the feds know they're starting a case. So as soon as they start that investigation at the beginning, why aren't the officers involved arrested once they know they're starting a case? Put them in jail and give them a real high bail. So it's clear they're being investigated. And if they got the resources to bail out with the high bail, then fine. But that sends a message to cops. I would argue you're not going to just keep doing all these deletions and violations, and your buddies in your state, your local buddies in the law and prosecutors and cops and whatnot, they go out of their way to rule that you're innocent of these crimes locally, but we're gonna handle this. The federal government is gonna handle this. So you're under arrest. Here's what your bail is. If you bail out, fine. If not, you sit in there. And they literally could have been sitting in federal prison for 17 months while this investigation has occurred, but that didn't happen. And my question is why? Anybody else commit a crime or suspected to commit a crime, that's exactly what happens. You get arrested, you get a hearing, they set bail, and either you make bail or you don't. Why isn't it the same for cops when it comes to federal charges? Okay, and again, we still have, the process to go through with whatever the pleas may be agreed to or offered, as well as what we know what the current indictment charges are, but what's going to be the ending charges? Are they going to be the same, or are they going to be reduced or plead down or what have you? So again, family, Katie Smooth asked why is the process different for cops? And I would throw in government officials in that case. Now, some may argue, well, they got to do the investigation and all that, and putting them in jail may hurt the investigation process. Okay, I kind of get that, but it doesn't hurt the investigation. Nobody else. Everybody else gets arrested. All other suspects get arrested, thrown in jail, and they get a hearing and a bail set, possibly, and then either they make bail or they don't. But the investigations continue. I don't know, family. As a family member or a parent, I don't know if I can wait 17 months for justice, or however long, if action is not immediately taken, arrest immediately made. Now, if they are arrested and arrested on suspicion of charges, and they get a bail set and they make bail, then okay, that's the same for everybody. I can't really argue against that. But these officers have not been sitting in federal prison or under federal arrest. They haven't had to make bail. They do now. They get that opportunity now. 17 months, over a year, almost a year and a half later. Is that justice? I'm glad some indictments have been brought down, but we'll see, family, how this works out. We'll see how the feds are pretty good. They have a pretty good track record for making their charges and indictments stick. But there also could be a whole lot of more shady stuff going on with, what pleas that the Fed, if the Fed offers these cops any plea deals, what the ending charges will be, what they will actually get convicted of if they get convicted. So there you have it, family. Just a quick update. Y'all let me know what you think about this report, these charges, this indictment. Are you satisfied? Are you okay with it? Do you feel it's justice? Is it, even though it's 17 months later, is that wait time justice? Again, for me, I couldn't wait 17 months. I couldn't. That's a nightmare. That's doubling down on the trauma and just the pure hell that the victims of crimes and their families and loved ones and friends have to go through. That's like double hell. You got what happened, and then now you're going to add on to, with all this time where you don't know what's going on. You got no information, in the local or state law, the prosecutors and all that, the cops, and the judges, they've all conspired to rule that the cops are innocent, which is another slap in the face. I mean, how much can we continue to take, y'all? So again, y'all let me know what you think about this report, this update in the comments. Let's chop it up. Is it justice? Is it timely justice or not? And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.